lifetime, or should I say in the years gone by, he used to be a part-time lecturer at Delhi University Campus Law Center, from where he graduated with an LLB, where he got a gold medal, and then a 3-year LLM course, where he stood first year upon year. So the standards of excellence that he set, it was no surprise that the intellectual property world declared him in 2007 as one of the top 50 people, most influential people in the world in this sphere. During his course as a senior advocate, he represented educational institutes, public sector undertakings, banks, financial institutes, and also corporates. So thank you so much for being with us, Honorable Justice A.K. Sikri, and for delivering this address.
Thank you, Shivani, and good morning to all of you. Let me tell you at the beginning itself that because of paucity of time, I'm avoiding the ritual of mentioning everybody's name as well. I had few things to say. In the first instance, when I was invited, I thought that what should I say here? Because I'm sitting in so-called appellate jurisdiction and hearing the appeals from COMPET nowadays. And one very significant case, we reserved judgment few days ago, and I'm writing that judgment, which takes care of, which would take care of some of the issues, thorny issues. Another case where we have 2 days ago, the arguments have started, so which will again go on. So while standing here, I had to decide that, yes, I have to eschew those discussions because I can't disclose my mind as of now as to what is my view on those issues. Still, in spite of that, yes, I could muster some of the thoughts and thought that I'll speak on that. But let me tell you very frankly, 4 or 5 such aspects which I wanted to say are subsumed by the wonderful discourse of Dr. Singhvi. 1 or 2 other things which left are taken care of by Mr. Rajiv Kher and Mr. D.K. Sikri. So therefore, and third important problem before me is that I requested Mr. Ramji Srinivasan that I should be free positively by 11 o'clock because I have to travel from this place to another place which is 75 or 80 minutes away, and their conference has to start at 12 o'clock. I told them that, yes, it may be late by a few minutes. They said, yes, we will wait. But I think now, even if I immediately start, I'm going to be late. So because of that reason, what I had prepared, still 8 or 10 pages, I'm not going to speak, but I'll only highlight only 1 or 2 aspects. Maybe which are touched, but may not be in the manner in which I wanted to touch. No doubt about insofar as healthy competition in business is concerned, started with Adam Smith's discourse in 18th century when he talked of free market economy, etc., that laissez-faire economy, which started at that time with industrialization. And when we particularly talk about India and when we became independent, that we chose mixed economy. On the one hand, we had the communist or Marxist world, which was totally controlled economy, and a Western world, which was still much free, but for whatever reasons, everybody knows, and I wanted to say something, but I'm not stating and only making it a point, that yes, but naturally with this now from 1991, 92 onwards, again we have fallen back to the, we have now traveling along with the world with globalized or liberalized economy. But this economy, when we had earlier license regime and quota regime and all those kinds of controls by the government, they have been wished away. But now free economy, but with regulation. And this regulated, regulation of the business has come in all ways. We had, telecom, which was totally nationalized, but now it is open, but with Telecom Regulatory Authority. which we had electricity, which was totally nationalized, but now we have electricity regulator. Likewise, in insurance, we have insurance regulator, although it is now privatization is there. And in this entire scenario, when we talk of ease of doing business or make in India, and we want to attract more FDI, where our Prime Minister is traveling to one country after other, and he's in Japan nowadays, again, for this very purpose, and is sending this message time and again that we want that the atmosphere or the environment is conducive. That is the message which he is spreading in India, and therefore you come and invest and you will have reasonable returns. The Competition Act plays a very, very important role in this scenario. And what I want to say here is that today, I think that is what is to be seen, that in every sphere and every field, wherever we decide, make decisions on judicial decisions as judges, it has the economic impact. Even if it is a case of, you analyze why crimes take place, there are economic aspects of this. Law and economics is now a topic which is studied, and there's one Stephen Levitt, I don't know whether you have read his book on Freakonomics, and he has come out with second book on super Freakonomics also. And it is really, what he has given the name itself, Freakonomics. He deals with, I read this book about 8-10 years ago, connection between law and crimes as well. Why crimes are also influenced by economic factors, and if those are taken care of, even the crime rate can come down. And so, I mean, we know that law of the land affects the economic behavior, and economic behavior generates need for laws. And this is, in this context, the competition law comes into picture. And if you study what is happening in some of the jurisdictions abroad, today when we talk of what is justice or jurisprudence on justice, we have various theories on justice, but nobody has thought till now about justice to be seen or located in economic analysis of the laws. And today, the thinkers, they are, I mean, the effort is going on in recent years to elaborate an overarching concept of justice, and on which the scholars are working, keeping in view two aspects in mind. One is judicial decision making, and other is place it on an objective basis. So therefore, when even the jurisprudence of justice is talked about, the economic analysis of law comes into being, whether a decision which is given by a particular judge, what is going to be the economic impact of that, which is very, very necessary. And here comes the role of CCI. Of course, as judges, when we decide the cases, and particularly when certain fundamental issues arise and come up for first time, we have to, and I have been telling you personally, it's not now for last 15, maybe I'm a commerce student, I'm a student of economics, so that may be subconsciously at the back of my mind, but now I realize what I was doing may be correct. I always think, whenever such a decision, what is going to be the impact? If you remember, even decision in Vodafone, which was given by Justice Kapadia, and after retirement, he said so very frankly, that look, at the back of my mind, when I was giving this decision was that how it is going to, if the decision would have been otherwise, how it would have adversely affected FDI in India. So therefore, these are some of the aspects, and when we take a particular decision, how it is going to affect the business, how it is going to affect the competition. Now, there are certain issues which are debated nowadays, and yes, issue of dominance, which was being argued, as we know that position of dominance per se is not bad. It is the abuse of that dominance which is bad. So which has to be kept in mind. But when it comes to I mean, even if it is proved that, yes, there was an abuse and it comes to, say, penalties, etc. Now, question is here, the only thing which I would say is that, and I'm happy that Mr. D.K. Sikri has himself accepted, and so therefore he is conscious about this fact, that it is the, and which was highlighted by Dr. Singhvi also, it is that balancing factor. Whether the purpose may be deterrent, yes, if somebody has abused the dominance position, or even if it is a cartelization or some merger, etc., in order to have the concentration of the market economy in that particular product, a person has to be punished, but then doctrine of proportionality has to be seen. Deterrent, of course, has to be there, but with deterrence, are we going to kill the industry itself, kill the business itself, or we are going to drive that business? So this is very, very important aspect which has to be kept in mind in each decision making. And at the end, I would only, what Mr. Rajiv K. said was a very a very important point which he has made, is that it doesn't have to be a case-to-case approach. We have to have, as he said, sectoral guidelines of what I said, that let CCI has some kind of vision before it, what it wants to achieve, and then approach the issues on that basis. Of course, it has to be on case-to-case basis, but keeping in view that vision, which you may discuss, and after the framework, then what should be our approach in each case, I think should be the guiding factor. Thank you very much.
Justice Sikri, may I please request you to come forward to release the publication which has been put together by our publishing partner Manu Patra with the Competition Commission of India and the Competition Law Bar Association coming together. May I request all our kind guests at the stage to come together closely for a nice group photograph. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the publication, the souvenir that has been put together to mark the 3rd International Competition Law Commission event here today. It's a great honor and privilege to have Honorable Justice Sikri release this for us. Thank you so much, sir. You were here with us in the last Competition Commission conference that we had, and you gave the valedictory address. It was a wonderful moment, and to have your continued support is hugely treasured. Thank you so much. May I please request Mr. Atul Dua, Honorary Secretary of the CLB Competition Law Bar Association, to deliver the vote of thanks. Atul is the senior partner with Seth Dua and Associates, and of course he is also a chartered accountant besides being a lawyer, and has been the honorary secretary ever since the inception of the CLBA. So please, ladies and gentlemen, I hand over to Atul.
Thank you, Shivani. She's been a constant at all the conferences, starting the first one in 2010, then 2012 and 2016. So we had an excellent speech by our chief guest, Justice A.K. Sikri. I share the same college and with Sri Ram College and then Campus Law Center with him, although much junior to him. Although I never got the gold medal than the scholarships he got. And that gold has much more value than the price of gold which we have these days. And now I'd like to thank Mr. Rajiv Kher, the best proxy counsel I've ever come across. Always supportive, and the last seminar we had on economics and competition law, he had graciously agreed to chair that as well. So always behind CLBA and supporting us. And I would say that Mr. D.K. Sikri, chairman of CCI, has been the most supportive till now for this conference. First time, as Shivani mentioned, the logo of CCI and CLB appears together on the souvenir. Thank you, sir, and we look forward to more such collaboration in the future. And finally, thanks to Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. I sometimes have the pleasure of walking with him at the City Fort Sports Complex, and always a pleasure listening to him. And that's actually more casual when we walk and talk together, and that's something I really enjoy. Thank you, sir. And of course, thanks to our president and our executive committee and the organizing committee, Ramji Srinivasan, who is the strength behind this conference, although he doesn't have the girth, but he is very strong. And I also like to thank a member, Compat, Mrs. Anita Kapoor, for gracing this occasion, members of CCI. I also see Mr. Dhanendra Kumar here, ex-chairman of CCI. Thank you, sir, and thanks foreign guests and all the legal fraternity, the corporates who are attending this seminar. And now, since we are running late, I'll ask Shivani to make the housekeeping announcements.
Thank you, Atul. And just quickly to say, there's coffee waiting for all of us, and followed by the two sessions. One will be here, of course. We have Justice Rajiv Sahai in law chairing that session on compliance and due process. And then, of course, we have Mr. Rajiv Kher, who will be chairing the session on anti-competitive conduct. That will be on the first floor in Hall A and B. And so there will be parallel sessions that continue, technical sessions in Hall A and B on the first floor. And for those of you who would like to know about the future and feel rather secure about absolutely relevant things like your own state of being, lunch will be served between 1 and 2 p.m. at the second floor of this very venue. And as you know, of course, in the evening, we'll have dinner at the Park Hotel at Aqua. So please enjoy the rest of the day, and rest assured there'll be lots to learn, share, and gain. Thank you very much. Thank you.